Hello, I'm Toycat, and welcome back to another live stream on the internet. Today I'm gonna be starting with something a little bit weird that'll make sense later, but I'm gonna take a fortune-free pickaxe and I'm gonna mine myself a bunch of coal ore because I have that lying around because we've done some mining streams before, and we're gonna use this later. It's all gonna make sense, but for now, just hello, I'm Toycat. Welcome back to another live stream on the internet. Hope you're having a wonderful day, because today we're gonna be doing a few weird survival projects, I guess. Not necessarily practical or useful ones, but we're going to be doing some survival things that you might anticipate or want, and it's going to be kind of fun, because I wanted to do a live stream today, not because I was like, oh yeah, there's some great purpose for it. I think there are some things I need to do, but like, more of them will make sense after the Let's Play tomorrow. So there's some things I want to get done, but for the most part, I want to do some of the weirder projects that don't really, you know, they don't fit a video too well, they don't fit a thing too well, but it'd be kind of fun to just stream and do them. So today, one of the things I want to do is place a bunch of torches. That would be great. And the other thing I want to do is I want to actually get some ender chests going, because you'll notice how I got this, fortune-free pickaxe from an ender chest, right? You might have noticed that very thing happening. So I figure, you know, I don't have enough ender chests around my world. Why don't I take some ender pearls? Why don't I take some blaze rods and then a bunch of obsidian? Because I think that's how you make them. And why don't we place a bunch of them around the world? So that's what I'm going to try and do today. Also, it just came to say Shan loved the message. I'm glad to hear, Biggie Cheese, that Shenanfa loved the message. Maybe a second one to you, assuming she actually does know who I am or care about the channel in some way. But if that is the case, then you know what, Shenanfa, I hope you had a wonderful day when you read that one, and I hope today is even better, because you know, the cool thing about life is it generally has an upwards trajectory. Very few people have a downwards trajectory in life, because most people end up dying at that point, and you know what, you're probably not going to end up dying because you have someone who cares about you. Also, thank you so much, JM706, for the sponsorship of the channel. Thank you for it. It's crazy how many people have decided to become members recently. I wonder if there's something about that, or if people are just like, you know, yeah, screw it, why not? Also, Toycat, is the cup half full or empty, says Weird Bug. This one annoys me, right? Because it really depends on the state that it was before. You know, a lot of people take it as like an optimist-pessimist thing, but I think, honestly, it depends on where the cup was prior to finding it, right? So, if you take an empty cup and then you turn it into a half-filled cup, it's a half-filled cup because you had to fill it halfway. If you take a all-the-way filled cup and then you eventually leave yourself with a half-empty cup, you know what you've got yourself there. Also, let's turn this as blaze powder and then put like half of that back. I think we need, what, like 16 of this? So divide that by 2, add that to there, and there we go. Oh, wait, one more. And yeah, so I've always thought that's my answer to the whole conundrum on that level. Maybe you agree, maybe you don't. Are you using metal straws to save the turtles, says Alden Robinson. Yeah, you can tell how late minute I had to put this stream together because I don't even have a drink today, like an amateur. Also, it's good to see you, Pixel. Thank you very much for the £2.76 question mark super chat. But no, it wasn't a super chat. It was a Streamlabs, which is why I love you about 30% more than someone who uses YouTube. Wow, look at me, already going right in on the jugular for people like that. But yeah, thank you very much, Pixel. I'm having a good day myself. I honestly, my day has been, in some senses, pretty good, and in some senses, like, I would say the opposite of good. I tried to go to sleep, you know, I've been trying to fix my sleep for a while. Going to America every time, it just breaks my sleep in some way. And I got back from Texas, to be precise. But I got back, I don't know how many weeks ago now. 2 weeks ago, I guess it'd be. And I'm still sleeping in broken, awful times. And I've just been I've been feeling awful most of the day. Like, just wanting to be back in bed for most of the day. So, yeah, the solution was like, oh, I'll get myself crazy tired, go to sleep at 10 p.m. I did that yesterday, and I woke up and it was midnight, and I couldn't get back to sleep. Like, I needed to pee by the time I got back into bed. It was like, oh, my entire will to... I spent an hour trying anyway, but I couldn't get back into the sleepy thing, and it was just like, well, okay then, guess I'm staying up until like 7, and then I had to wake up at 10. It was for such a stupid reason too. My mother just calls me, she's like, I'm getting a puppy and I needed your approval because you're gonna have to look after it. It's like, take like 5 steps back. You're getting a dog and I have to look after it every single day, despite the fact that I travel. It's like, well, you know, it's the one thing I've never gotten myself. And it's like, also, thank you very much. Love your videos, fam. I really appreciate that. I'm glad you like those. They're what I spend a lot of my time doing. Also, thank you very much, Madison F. Cool thumbnail. Yeah, it's a pretty cool thumbnail. I feel like anyone who made it, you know, besides having a bad grasp on how this is like, I'm not going to pull off this joke perfectly, but the joke is meant to be that's the person who made the thumbnail. So say a thank you to a Madison F, or was it Madison F on the screen? I don't know how you did. Wait, it says right here. Yeah, thank you very much for that. Say not only thank you for throwing money at me in order to throwing time at me in order to throw money at me. Isn't that all you want in the world? Also, what did you eat today, Toy Cat? Hope all is well. I woke up and I was like, you know what? I'm having such a bad day. If there is a day that warrants having a bunch of pizzas, today feels like it should be that day. So what I did today, by the way, I know this is confusing just looking at me covering the desert in torches. Also, Whack Video says, what's your opinion on prostitution being legal? You know, that's an interesting one. I wanna guess what chat assumes my opinion is on that one before I say it. Actually, not. I don't know if I do. I feel like this is one of those subjects that someone's gonna be like, oh, don't you know? There's probably a child watching somewhere, and when you say prostitution, you'll expose them to that world. And it's like, yep, that's what it is. Like, you know, the reason I became a drug dealer is because I heard someone say the word drugs once in a live stream, and I was like, oh wow, that's a thing you can do. Because fun fact, you know, like I'm actually just a drug dealer. I don't do any actual, you know, this YouTube is just a cover business for the real stuff I do on the side. By the way, now you know the secret. I'm gonna have to kill you or something. No, I think that's international spies, huh? Also, I can't find any ender pearls anywhere in my world. I don't know where they all must be. But I've got a bunch of ender pearls somewhere, and I kind of need them, I think. Anyway, let's make some IF enders so we can make some ender chests. Boom, look at that. And now we're gonna start placing these around the world in kind of tactical places, like right here. Also, Toycat, what's your opinion on high school girlfriend? Says Will Baloo. I don't think this opinion is particularly unique, and I don't think it's gonna mean anything coming from me. So, whatever. If you've got a high school girlfriend, ignore what I'm about to say, because you're gonna ignore it even if I don't tell you to ignore it. Also, thank you very much, Pumpkin8V, for the hello message. Hello. And yeah, so the thing about high school girlfriends is that Minecraft prostitution mod. Nice. That's the high quality chat that you can come to this stream and expect. But no, the thing about high school girlfriends is that there is kind of a, you know, like, okay, so the term relationship or girlfriend or whatever, we use it to mean so many disparate things that really aren't connected except for the fact that you are a guy and that is a girl. You know, I guess you are a guy and girl. The fact that you have some relationship that goes beyond normal friendship, but then if it goes beyond normal friendship, why is the word friend chilling right in there? You know, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever. And you know, like that's a flaw of not only the English language, but I think in German as well. Like it literally, you call your girlfriend like the female word for friend, like because there's masculine and feminine words. I think I could be wrong on that. Someone correct me if you disagree. But yeah, I think it's well, so I'm going to torch up the desert while we're here. You know what? Why not? Who's going to stop me? My live stream. I'll torch the desert while I'm looking for ender pearls, because they might be in the end, maybe. I'm not really entirely sure. But we need to torch this up anyway to stop mob spawning, because it makes it easier to finish torching later. So we'll just torch up the whole desert. It'll be great. Because there are a few spots that probably don't stop mob spawning, like down here, for instance. Also, what's your opinion on shields? They're cool, but they don't have banner patterns on yet. I'm so concerned that it's a monetization ploy. Like, oh, the one feature we left out of one point, you know, like, the one feature we left out from shields that we just claimed is impossible to do, is shield banners, and it's like, they're about to launch a huge customization update of things that you have to pay for. That's fine. But if they try and tie the two things together, then I really hope they're not. Again, I get nervous with Minecraft sometimes, you know? Because there's a bunch of people who care about the game, who love the game. And then there's like clearly some guys who are just like, hey, we've got this huge audience that we can probably monetize. You know, they don't see the game as a community. They see the game as like a one-off cash grab. Because you could probably improve your quarterly results at Microsoft by just milking Minecraft hard. Imagine if you put a paywall in the game. Like, there's so many ridiculous examples where you can kill the game long term, but help it short term. And I really worry, based on some of the decisions you see from Minecraft, that someone out there has the intention to do that. I hope I'm wrong. I really hope I'm wrong. Also, what's your opinion on Brexit, says Leobs? You know, there are three things you don't mention in polite conversation. I think it's religion, politics, and Star Wars. And, you know, I hate to break it to you, but I think Brexit is technically politics. Two United States scholars got up to 420, 69, 420. That is, I don't know what I meant to respond to that with. Like, oh, you're saying you give me $2 if I go to those coordinates? That sounds like a terrible deal. That sounds like the worst deal in the history of deals. Wait, we can tie that back into Brexit, and there you go. There's my thoughts. Hope you all enjoyed that one. So the previous one about the prostitution thing is like, it's really interesting because I used to be when I was younger. I think there's a really common thing where like when you're young and first get into politics, you get into like super extreme one way or the other. And I'd say like I started on one extreme, end up on the other extreme, and then also first Toycat tax, Toycat's affirmative. Thank you very much, Sam Leonard, for the 199 super chat. Oh, have I explained, by the way, the reason I've got this map is I'm trying to fill it out for the video. Again, it all makes sense. You just got to trust that it does, and then it will. But yeah, we're good. Also, who would win a fight? A fully grown male grizzly bear or a full-grown male silverback gorilla? Okay, between just those two, I'm going to be honest with you here. I think oh god. I think it's got to be the gorilla, right? Because the gorilla has more smarts and it can do like more messed up stuff like poke out the bear's eyes. I don't know for sure because, you know, animal fights are one of the few subjects. I know it's like a staple that like most guys love, and like I sometimes, you know, I sometimes can enjoy hearing talking about it, but I don't actually get excited about the idea of two animals fighting. I think like if you give a tiger a sword and you give a gorilla a gun, I want to see how that goes. Like, can the gorilla work out how to use the gun in time? Will the tiger, you know, like that could be cool. But I think the thing that makes those fights less engaging is that like, oh yeah, it's just like bear strength is not the cool things about nature to me all the time. But yeah, so the other, like, a lot of people start on the extremes, and I know I just had this thing of like, you know, why can't you buy and sell everything? Why should there be a situation where you want to sell something, someone wants to buy it from you, and you can't do so because some, you know, greater power says, oh, that would be bad for one of the two of you involved. It feels really strange on the surface level. I will say, like, even though I think it should be true, the truth is there's lots of like weird results from it. So if you wanted to legalize certain things, you have to then, there's a lot of other things you have to watch out for at the same time, you know. And like, you know, like, because there's a lot of like negative side effects from it that I don't know the full implications of, and then I just get to say, you know what, whatever. Because the other thing about it, this is the less cited side, is also I'm caught extremely well. Just wondering, what are your thoughts on Minecraft Earth? I haven't played it yet because like I didn't get, they didn't invite me, okay. But yeah, I haven't played it just yet, but I am. Also, I wish I had more money to give you. No, honestly, any amount makes me feel just as special, I assure you. Is that a thing you say? That's the thing I'm saying, if nothing else. But no, thank you so much for the $2. Again, the fact that you care enough to send any super chat, that's cool to me. It means the world that anyone cares on that level at all. Anyway, let's go flying around the map. We're gonna make a boat. We're gonna do some exploring. It's gonna be great, and we can explore some concepts. But yeah, I just want to finish off that thing and say like, hey, so what are my kind of overall thoughts? My overall thoughts are like, there's also the really interesting the relationship between like men and women as society as a whole. It's the biggest like two-group system that mostly get along together, right? Like in general, men get along with women in aggregate a lot better than any other two division you can make. Like the global north and the global south. If you take any two, when you split the world in two, you often get divisions there. But men and women are one of the greatest examples where you generally don't. But prostitution is one where it generally is favored by men and not so much by women. Because you kind of take away one of the biggest sales, one of the biggest benefits that you could offer, that you can use as a, you get what I'm saying here, whatever. I'm not going to, it's not going to come out elegantly if I try and say it, so I'm not going to. If you'd add coffee to Minecraft, would you? Says Tack Humor. No. Anyone who wants to drink things in Minecraft, like try honey, by the way, the brand new Minecraft drink, and tell me that's a great experience. Like drinking in Minecraft, you know, even within the hunger system is terrible. Now imagine they add some thirst system or some reason for it. It's just terrible. It's just objectively not good. Hate to break it to you, but sadly, that is just the way it be. And you know, sometimes it's okay that that's the way it be. So yeah, let's place a ender chest over here. We'll make a nice little square for whatever reason. I can also, oh, there's an ender pearl. Can use that to make a thing that I'm trying to go for. We'll throw the saplings and just miscellaneous garbage in there for now. And then we can also make ourselves a IF ender. and an ender chest. Look how nice that is. So we'll go around the world looking for ender chests, slowly filling them out. It'll be great. We can do 2 things at once. Because again, this map on my left hand here, it's going to take some time to fill. It's going to take some time, and that's okay. Sometimes it's just okay. How do you do live streams, says Michael TV. You download a live streaming program, and then you throw your video into it. You hit stream. There's probably more comprehensive tutorials than I can explain in 4 seconds on the internet, so there's the basic. Also, look at this, by the way. Do you see the way the water's affecting this? Like, it's such a weird thing. Do you see that? Like, is this a rendering glitch just for Bedrock, or is this a weird thing with stairs and water? Because I placed these stairs obviously before the update, so they are waterlogged. Maybe not waterlogged. That might be affecting it. This is so strange. This is very, very, very odd. Drinking honey will turn you into a diabetic. Is there sugar in honey, like the real life thing? I don't think there is. Do you ever get tired of Minecraft? Generally not, actually. A lot of people go through this thing, they say. Like, I get told a lot about, like, oh yeah, surely you're bored of Minecraft, because I got bored of Minecraft after XYZ. But honestly, you know, maybe you think I'm going to say this because it makes you watch more Minecraft videos, and maybe that gets you to watch me. But no, I genuinely, Minecraft is a game where I know, even if I get bored of one particular activity, I know there's so much more that I can do within it. And that keeps me going, you know. There is sugar in honey. Oh, is that true? Oh. I learned some more. I learned some more. Isn't that nice? Also, what are your thoughts on YouTube? They changed it to where it says 1.3 million instead of 1. Yeah, they abbreviated sub counts on YouTube, and they're going to do it on external sites. I can understand doing it on YouTube, honestly, because no one cares that you have 1,300,406. Wait, what's my exact count now? I can share with you. Does anyone care that I have 1,325,562? No. You might not even care that I have 1.3 million, but if you do care, you care to the nearest significant figure. Wait, I can show you actually right now. Is that it? That's not it. Sub count. I can show you my live subscriber count up there. That's going to go away very soon, so should we have it there as a little memorialism? You could say honey gives you diabetes, but but yeah, even like looking at the number, it's cool to see it going up, but no one actually cares about the exact thing, in my opinion. Also, look, 6 people unsubscribed. My life is sadness now. But yeah, the removal of that seems so stupid because even though no one no one besides the channel owner cares, having an exact number is important because it needs to represent an exact number, I guess. Like, YouTube are basically saying with this change, the number of subscribers you have doesn't matter, except to be able to, like, flex and be like, I have this many. And even though that's what most people cared about, by making it the only thing they show, they validate that that's the only thing that people care about. Also, imagine getting 1.5k views per stream. It must be such a dream. Yeah, no, it's such a funny thing, actually. Like, I think whenever we pass 1,000, my mind is blown, right? It is full on out there, and it goes, you know, it blows my mind. And there's always some people who are like, wow, that's a lot. And then there's also some people that come in and they're like, imagine only having 1,600 viewers. You have 1.3 million subscribers and only 1,600 show up. And it's funny because, to me, that shows the perspective thing of, like, everyone has a different perspective on the same things. You can be a super negative person, you can be a super positive person. But I also think it's interesting just because it shows, again, that, like, numbers without context or numbers with the wrong context don't really mean too much. And that's why subscription counts kind of matter. Seeing the full number, knowing what it is, genuinely feels to me like it's quite important. Actually, subscriber counts are always inaccurate in the short term. They're always within, like, a few subscribers, right? Like, that's not my exact count, but it's close enough that it might as well be. It's the closest thing YouTube can have to my exact subscriber count. Same thing with views. Views are always inaccurate on YouTube. The numbers you see and the numbers I see are wildly different. I can actually show you this right now. Wait, let me show you this on the spot. So, I uploaded a video just now, right? It's called, or an hour ago. About the best Minecraft village and pillage seed, blah, blah, blah. You might have seen it, maybe you haven't. Maybe, whatever. But the number it's going to show on the public video, the number you will see, is 10,180. I can show you this right now, in fact. So, wait, screen cap. Oh, man. I've got so many things. Here's me looking at the thing. Wow, isn't that kind of nice? You can see it. So you can see how it says right down there, 10,180 views. But the actual number of views that video has gotten is so like the YouTube layout. I have no idea how to find this information. I honestly just use my phone half the time. But according to YouTube, it's actually gotten 12,900. There's actually yeah, it's usually like a bigger discrepancy, like double, sometimes triple, because counting views, there's a whole like computing problem as to like how do you have a live count that stays accurate all the time when it's being added to multiple times per second. Because that subscriber count, it only goes up every few seconds, but people can subscribe to me, you know, sometimes they subscribe once every 5-10 seconds. Sometimes they subscribe 5 times in a second, or they unsubscribe 5 times in a second. There's a huge computing problem as to how you actually measure those things. And because you also want to be accurate to some degree, it's delayed and whatever. You get the point. Numbers, they only mean as much as the context around them. Is my point I was trying to say. Also, so Kat, do you like coffee? I need to know, bro. No, I really don't like coffee. Okay. It's one of those sins in the world because for some reason, every single person in the world, I know there's a small number of people who don't like it, but like there's just this huge number of people that are like, yeah, coffee's the best, man. I need a coffee in every morning before I can really get going or whatever. And, you know, like, I think it's interesting, like, sure, you're addicted to a thing, but they're addicted and then they love the actual taste itself, right? Like, yeah, I love the taste of coffee. It's the best thing in the world. And I just can't understand it. It all tastes so bitter. And then when it doesn't taste so bitter, it's because like, Starbucks. Oh, the dog. Do you remember the dog from the previous live stream? He's back. We did it. It only took this long, but we found our dog again. We'll put him in the boat with us, actually. That could be a fun little thing. Hey, Mr. Dog, come over here. We can do a thing together. It'll be great. Okay, there we go. Look at this. This is a cute little adventure we're going on together. Isn't that nice? I don't know if it is nice yet. This boat. Yeah, this goes nowhere. Well, that was a good use of time, wasn't it? Also, thank you so much to someone for super chatting. I don't see it. I'll have to check the thing over here. So thank you so much, HPR. If you don't know, YouTube abbreviation sub counts have happened at least on mobile. Yeah, it's happened everywhere, but the API now, and that's gonna happen soon enough, right? It's a matter of time until there is no precise subscriber count. And I think it's a shame because, like, I hate the idea that precise data is bad.
Thank you for hundreds of hours of fantastic content. I'd love to stay, but I have to work so I can pay the toy tax.
Thank you so much, JMB8706, for the $50 super chat. The number of crazy ones of these that have been coming in recently is mind-blowing to see. But thank you so much, JMB. I hope you have a wonderful day at work. You have my blessing. You know, most people, I hope they have okay days, you know, good days if that. I hope your day is wonderful. That is my hopes that you're basically buying with that. I don't know what I'm saying right now. But no, thank you so much. It means a lot. It is insane to see so much money. I agree. That is a wild amount to see. Also, just a question. What's the thing about kissing a girl on the nose? I think someone asked me for girl advice recently, and I was like, you know what? Someone's going to criticize me no matter what I say. There's this funny thing where, again, on the streams non-stop recently, it's been every stream, someone's been like, hey, I don't think you should talk about that. There might be children here. And for high school advice, I was like, really, you know, like, school advice on girls is the hill you want to die on regarding, like, you know, you're going to make up a stat and then you're going to defend it to the death, you know, the stat about like, oh yeah, all people who play Minecraft are children, except for me. And then everyone thinks that. So, yeah, I was like, okay, I'll just give deliberately bad advice. And then it turned into kiss her on the nose. Because you know, what you got to do is you find a girl and you just kind of know. You just, you know, there's this connection. This is the scariest thing I heard, by the way. As a teenager, I never give this advice because I heard it when I was like 16 and it freaked me out, and I like only stopped freaking out maybe like a year and a half ago, maybe 2.5. Like it was very recently that this stopped messing me up. That like there's the advice I once heard someone is like, oh yeah, how do you know when to kiss a girl? And it's like, well, you just kind of know. You look her in the eyes and you can just feel it. And I was like, what does that mean? You know, not only is it terrifying to look girls in the eye, you know, like when you're in school, right? Like that's maybe just me, but not only is it terrifying to look in on the eye, but when you do look them in the eye, there's a look in there that means kiss me, please. How are you meant to mean that from anything? So Instead, I gave it a twist, which is like, ignore the look in the eyes and just kiss her on the nose instead. Boom. As an official 11-year-old, I didn't know about kissing till this very moment. Indeed, we are all 11-year-olds here. I'm glad you have joined the honorary 11-year-old squad too, Alina Khan. Also as an 11-year-old, because, you know, I look 11 right now, right? As an 11-year-old, I can also confirm that this when I mentioned it just then was really the first time I'd heard about it. But yeah, the worst advice I think you can give anyone is like, you just know. Because that's not advice. That's just that's just saying, hey, if you don't know, you messed up. Also, I didn't know what was right here. Here's 50 cents to someone. Wait, 50 cents, but they gave $2, right? Wait, am I crazy? Oh, 50 characters. You know, I don't know what to write in 50 characters is a solid use of 50 characters. I've got to give it to you. I've got to give it to you. I don't think you have many fans who are kids. Yeah, I mean, statistically, again, in any large sample group, you're always going to find a lot of everything, right? There's going to be a lot of... There is someone watching right now who is black, gay, between the ages of 15 and 25, and into anime. There is someone watching right now that meets those descriptions, right? Also, IBX is shy, cute. I think like, yeah, like maybe it is just a natural thing, but like I wouldn't even describe it as shyness. I just describe it as like accurate, you know, prediction of the environment around me. Like everyone always used to call me shy, but it's like, man, I don't want to have a conversation with most people. And then the few that I do, right? The few that I'm actually down to, I know that this is gonna go kind of badly for me. And it's like, you know, is that shyness or is that just understanding the world around me? But yeah, as a teenager, I was terrified of the concept that you just know. Because that's not advice. That's the exact opposite of advice. Also, opinion on the color orange. I don't like the color orange. I like it as a... I think it's one of my like official like alternate colors for like stream branding stuff or whatever. But I don't like it, and that's just how things go. Also, someone says dog. I don't know where the dog's at. Orange, good. Also, where do these random arrows all come from? Like, I guess it must be a skeleton, but it's still weird to see. It's still very weird to see. So thank you very much for all the random super chats that just poured in right there with no message attached. I don't know what to take from no message super chats, because the ones with messages, it's like, hey, you've got something you have to say or want to hear or whatever. Without a message, it's just like, hey, you did say a thing, technically speaking. Also, let's switch out pickaxe so we can silk touch the coal. Because, you know, we might as well, if we're walking through here anyway, might as well get a little secondary task done, right? I physically can't walk past a wolf in Minecraft without taming it. Yeah, it is really hard. I love that Minecraft has like a little cutesy element where like, oh yeah, there's cats and there's parrots and there's bees, and it's kind of wacky. Bring back the orange square, says Jive. I love that there genuinely is a small little crowd here that are like, yep, that orange square that you made a joke about how we're attached to it, but we're going to be attached to it anyway. You've got to love the commitment, if nothing else. There are many things you shouldn't love, but the commitment is something you definitely should. So yeah, let's de-escalate the other thing and talk about what I ate today, because someone asked. And yeah, I was having a lazy day, so I just ordered like 3 small pizzas. And hey, thank you, Jessica. Have you traveled to Utah? So first of all, Jessica, if you're from Utah, it's the one state in America where you basically can be like, I know like 12 other facts about you immediately. Like you're statistically in the, what's it called, the LDS church, right? You're statistically in that church, and therefore like something, this opinions on that. And I love that as a thing. Like there's just like, I love that America has states that are so like weirdly and nichely confined. Like there's a bunch of islands in the Pacific that count as a state. There's this like wild place that used to be Russia that counts as a state. And there's also the promised land of literally a American religion that is something like 80-90% Mormonism, right? It's wacky. But yeah, have I traveled to Utah? I've ignored your question entirely, and I'll just say I have not traveled to Utah. But I really want to. I hear there's good skiing there, and because the biggest downside to Utah is that I think alcohol above 3% is illegal everywhere. That's what I've heard. But like, you know, if I'm skiing and I'm by myself, I don't really need alcohol above 3%. I don't really need alcohol at all, really, is my point. Because alcohol below 3% is basically you just trying to self-harm via alcohol. Like, you know, it's sending a message for help to the world. Like, hey, I want to get drunk, and for some reason I want to do it the slow, painful way. Thank you very much, Beans on Post, for becoming a sponsor of the channel. Again, I have no idea why so many people have decided to do this recently. But it's so cool. The monthly subscription is so handy in terms of like actually having an accurate thing going on there. But thank you very much. Also, yeah, as far as when will I go to Utah, I'd love to go skiing sometime. I think it genuinely is like, there's like 5 states on my, also the answer is no, but there's like 5 states on my, in response to that thing, and there's like 5 states in America that are on my like, I need to go there next list. There's, I would say, Utah's definitely on there. I think Louisiana, like I've been putting it off for far too long, like, because New Orleans is like one of the big cities that you have to see, right? Definitely Hawaii, but I know it's like near impossible to get to from Europe. There's no direct, like, you have to change in America, and changing in America is basically akin to self-harming as well, by the way. And yeah, no, my point here is that, wait, so I've given 3. The 4th one is probably Washington, because the Minecraft offices are there, and also it's right next to Canada. How does my brain do stuff like that? How did I say calendar instead of Canada? I wasn't thinking the country's name was Canada. I wasn't even thinking about a calendar, besides maybe in the fact that I would travel at some point in the future, which I would have to mark on a calendar. I don't know how this stuff happens, but yeah, semantic slips, aren't they funny? Aren't they? Aren't they strange when you want to say something and you say something else? Yeah, and the other state. Oh, I'm actually going to America in 5 days, 4 days now if it's past midnight. But yeah, I'm going to America in 5 days, and I'm gonna see the next day on my list. It's one that no one's ever excited to go to, but I want to like tick it off the list anyway and like see if there is something worth going to. I'm going to Delaware in a few days, 4 days, 5 days. It's gonna be wacky. I'm gonna see what the state with the smallest. I can't do my American accent properly. I mean, not that it was ever a good accent, but it's even worse right now. So okay, that is a big map. It's a very big map. It's a fun one to explore. It's chill. It gives me an opportunity to do some stuff, and it's gonna be useful for the map video eventually. I've got to type something in. Much love to you, says Melting Melancholic Parade. Oh, that's so cool. Again, I know a lot of those must come from really well-intentioned people. They're just like, I don't really care to add a messenger, a message. See, I wonder why I'm having so many like the same semantic slips today. Like, want to say one word, saying another word that sounds similar. It's almost like laziness, right? Maybe I'm just lazy with talking today. I mean, I am wildly tired. I got like 2 hours of sleep. Arizona here. Love watching your videos, mate. So I swear I'm not just pandering to you, Mr. Arizona, and everyone else out there. I really want to go to Arizona. But actually, I'm going to Arizona later this year to see, I think the Grand Canyon's there. I'm like 85% sure the Grand Canyon's in Arizona. If I'm wrong, then I'm not going to Arizona. But yeah, it's one of the wonders of the world or whatever, right? It is grand, it is a canyon. What more do you need in your world? I have a ton of family in Delaware. No one real lives in Delaware. Don't try and lie to me. I thought I meant more than that, Lena Khan. I thought this was a special relationship we had, and then you just go to lie to me, pretend that real people live over there. But yeah, I'd really love to go to quite a few different states and places at some point. PN, good night. Good to see you here. Hope you have a wonderful night yourself. But yeah, there you go. Those are the 5 states on my I would love to visit sometime soon list. There's so many places in the south of America, particularly like Georgia, Atlanta. I really want to see. And like it just comes down to like, okay, gotta plan a trip, gotta find a like a flight deal. Then when I found the flight deal and the trip, I've got to work out some way that I can get something else useful done for videos or for whatever else. And then that all comes together, and sometimes I'm lazy and just don't do that. So there you go. Going to Delaware in a week. It'll be exciting. I think anyway. Oh, it won't be exciting, which is why it's so exciting. Sometimes the mundane things in life can be the most exciting things. I've said this before, and I'm gonna back it. I'm gonna defend my stance right now. But the most elaborate plans you can make in the world sometimes are the great ones. But the greatest plans are where something falls through and you panic do something at the last moment and it goes well. When you have no plans and it just kind of comes into place, that feels really great. Also, I see this is the sort of thing where I'm always like See, again, like, I can talk in abstract, I feel like, fairly fine. But then someone's always going to be able to take that the wrong way if I answer that one. But what I will just say is haha, 18. Now you know that that was probably really late compared to most people, right? Because you're not... actually, wait, it might be 17, but, like, it was right on the borderline between those two ages. Like, I think it might have literally been the day before my birthday or something. What type of music do you listen to, says Valky? My music taste is something I don't find interesting about myself. So I don't ever expect anyone else to find it interesting about me. Like, some people love their music so much. And I'll admit, when I find someone who's, like, got the same... You know, if you like the same song as me, okay, that's kind of cool. Like, wow, we have a thing in common. But, yeah, the truth in general is just, like, music is one of the blandest things to talk about. Because, okay, by the way, if there's no cave update, we'll have to raid Microsoft headquarters. They can't stop us all, right? They can't stop us all. And if that's how we get a cave update, that's how we get a cave update. But, yeah, no, there's this really, when it comes to a lot of, like, when you like a movie, when you like a game, like, I like Minecraft, a lot of you like Minecraft too. Knowing we have that in common tells me a lot about what else we have in common. If you like music, it's like, so I enjoy these sounds in this order a little bit for some reason. Like, I enjoy some music because it helps me sleep. I enjoy some music because it reminds me of a better time. You know, like nostalgia music or whatever. I enjoy some music because it, like, makes me feel happy. I enjoy some music because it makes me feel sad. If you enjoy music to sleep that I enjoy because it gets me pumped, that's not actually having something in common, is it? Whereas if you enjoy the same game, you can enjoy it for different reasons, but there's usually some underlying sharedness to that. That's my experience, if nothing else. But yeah, I think honestly it's just like a really easy point of like finding similarities. In the same way that, like, you know how how's the weather is like the most common opener? And the reason it works is because, you know, we all are in the same place, at least if you're physically asking at someone. And if you're in the same place, you can find a connection, something you've got in common. Because there's this constant struggle in a conversation between, like, finding things you have in common connect you, and finding things you have that are the opposite of common, because those are the interesting things found often, right? Like, you want to be in common enough that you'll get along and that you'll be compatible people, but you don't want to be so you don't want to have so much in common that you don't want to have an amount in common that makes you just the same person. Like, oh yeah, what do you think about beans? Same as you, because we're literal clones. I know it's weird. I always struggle with the concept of, like, what is it that, what is the perfect balance between, like, the same and different? Because if you have some people who are literal opposites to you in every way, they're always interesting, but you never bond, right? And if you speak to people who are exactly the same as you in every way, you know, you feel super close, but also you're like, so yeah, I guess I already know literally everything there is to know about you. And any conversation, I can already guess how it's going to go. It's an interesting thing, right? It's an interesting thing. By the way, so again, I ate pizza today, and it made me feel pretty rough. This is the worst thing about me being, again, it makes me feel like I'm growing old. Maybe it's just my stomach is literally killing me and my doctor doesn't care. But because I go to my doctor like once every 6 months. I'm like, hey, my stomach hurts all the time, and also, like, you know, there are other irregularities that you might have if you have a stomach that is in pain. And then she's just like, that's normal. And I'm like, pain is normal? She's like, yeah, that's normal. There are pills that you can take, and, you know, it's fine to take as many of those as you like. I have a patient who takes 6 pills every single day. And I look it up, and, like, objectively, that's not the advice I read online. And it's like, I don't want to be that person who finds their own doctors. But also, I don't think my doctor understands what pain is, maybe. And yeah, so, like, as I'm, like, growing older, gluten intolerance. So it's definitely not that I'm gluten intolerant, right? Even if I was literally a celiac, just because I've met so many people who pretend to be celiacs, I would rather die from gluten than have to be the person who's like, could you go gluten-free, please? I find it helps my stomach a bit better. Or whatever people say. You know, like, again, I understand there are celiacs out there. We're on the same side as to like, yeah, this is a little bit excessive. In fact, actually, it's probably good if you are a celiac, because then if you actually do have a genuine gluten intolerance, now there's so many more options available. I get that on one level, but on an entirely different level, also sub count is back. Yeah, I turned it on to prove a point earlier, and I'm too lazy to turn it off. Maybe I'm getting old as a man in his 20s. I don't know, like, it's scary because I only recently realized that age only goes one way, you know? Like, there's this, like, confusing period in your teenage years where even though your age is always going up, the amount of responsibility people expect from you varies from person to person. Whereas, like, I'm 24, I think. I'm pretty certain. And, yeah, I'm 24, and everyone kind of, you know, like, maybe it's because I have this whole thing, and everyone kind of expects the same thing from me. They're like, oh yeah, you're you kind of put together, right? And now that's only going to go up from the future, which is terrifying. Also, hey, Toy Cat, love your content. Curious, do you think there's intelligence outside of Earth? If so, why are they so hard to find? So I think you would have to provide some crazy proof to convince me there's no life somewhere in the universe. Maybe you're becoming lactose intolerant. Honestly, that could be it too. I think I've discussed before, like, hey, does it just hurt you guys when you eat ice cream? And Aris is like, no. What is that? And it's like, ah, maybe that's just me. I think it's also possible that I just don't eat enough. I usually eat very few carbs and very little milky products because they're the worst in terms of like flavor to like badness for you ratio, right? Like the best thing in terms of flavor to badness ratio are things like celery and pickles, because they're basically no calories, but also they taste good if you do the right things with them. Also, what's the most spontaneous thing you've ever done? Good question. Actually, I like to believe I do spontaneous things, but I don't really keep a track of them. Usually it is the same thing I mentioned earlier, where it's just like, oh yeah, this isn't going well and we plan to do it, but screw it, why don't we just do something else entirely? And it usually goes really well, but I don't have any great example where I'm like, so, and then I went to the moon instead of to whatever else I was going to do that day, sadly. But yeah, so let's talk about the alien thing, because yeah, I think you'd have to provide some serious proof if you wanted to convince me that there was no life somewhere in the universe, right? Like, from what we know about life, it seems likely that, again, it's the thing, with a big enough sample size, anything is eventually possible. And with enough planets in the universe, some proportion of them can support life, some proportion of them will eventually support life. But the question is, why has that life not contacted us? Or even responded to our contacts to them? We send out a lot of messages into the universe, which I'm going to go on record right now saying I really don't like that. I really think we should just, like, keep to ourselves. Like, you know, I guess that's, like, the base level personality trait of, like, paranoia coming out. But, like, I really don't like that we send out so many messages. Also, would like you to join Minecraft Monday if you ask. No, I think the benefits of joining dropped off almost immediately after week 1. So that's the thing. I really appreciate who you are as a person, says Piffrin. Thank you so much, Piffrin. I have a lot of, like,
Don't go
questions.
to Delaware. Just go to Teton Valley, Idaho. We have nice mountains.
Okay, so thank you so much, Majestic Kitty 7 for the £8 super chat. I'm assuming that's $10 precisely, maybe, because they're from Idaho and not giving in pounds. So thank you so much for that, first of all. Second of all, I feel like Idaho is pretty far away from Delaware. I mean, I'm no map expert, but I feel like they are further away than, I don't know, like the UK is from Turkey. Someone check if that fact is true. Delaware and Idaho, the UK and Turkey. Tell me if I'm right about that. Literally the Middle East and the UK are probably similar distances than that is. If it's not further, it's definitely similar, is my argument. Oh, yeah. Let's go to sleep, by the way. But yeah, so regarding the personality thing, oh man, it's fine. I'm alive. I appreciate that you appreciate me a lot. That's one of the cool things about this internet thing. Is like, you know, I don't agree with your opinions, but I appreciate them nonetheless. Also, let's throw some mushrooms away. so we can pick up this. Because I just want to put the tree back, you know? I just want to have it be like, hey, there we go. Look how nice that is. Okay, so let's get back on the grind to finish this map, shall we? Who's your favourite team? Mine is Liverpool. I'm not really a football guy. I'm not really a sports guy as a whole, again. It's one of those things where I think, like, there's certain people who are just inherently interested and certain other people who are just inherently not. I'm fascinated by the stats side of any sport. Like, and I love the weird stories of, like, hey, did you know Leicester City went from literally being relegated to, you know, some giant tie orgy to, oh, now all of a sudden they won the Premier League, a league which is usually only won by the top notch of teams. Wow, what a crazy little story. I love things like that, at least a little bit. Coffee consumption constantly or communism conversion, says Tack Humor. That is a nice little thing. They're about the same. Idaho and Delaware is slightly less. Hey, we edged it. So, okay, thank you very much, Alyssa J. And also, less far from the UK to Israel. So it's pretty much the same as the UK straight to the Middle East. Is the distance between Delaware and Idaho. So thank you to everyone who confirmed that. There's a few other people who confirmed it, but I missed it because I was doing a thing. Yeah, to circle round to full 360 this one back to the previous one. Also, neutral comment, I am watching this live stream. That's what I like to hear. That's honesty right there. You can never say this man is not being honest. That would be physically impossible, right? Also, I've got an idea. I want to place torches on the blue ice because I was talking to a friend today and he was like, surely if you make a boat ice pathway, you'll, you know, like it will melt eventually because of the sun. And I had to explain to him like, oh yeah, there's blue ice. It doesn't melt even with torches on. So I figure if it doesn't melt even with torches on, why don't I just place torches on it? So chat, you can decide this one right now because I'm genuinely not sure. But yeah, tell me what you think is better. If I place them on one side, because I don't think I can do both. Like, I could do both, but I'd have to do them way less frequently. Or should I have them on the top? So do you like this better, or do you like that? I could technically alternate, or something like that, maybe. Also, a lot of people saying don't do it at all. Okay, you know what, chat? This, so sides, top, or nothing? Do you think it's just too much to have it all? Because I'm genuinely... None, you get to ram into mobs as stupidest guy. Well, I can see where you get your username from, stupidest guy. Okay, let's spin the boat around. Oh, we've already spun it around. Get this one going in a straight line, shall we? Okay, I'm so conflicted. I've never seen such a weirdly divided chat. Saved up the super chat. Thanks for the great videos, and hopefully one day I can join you. It says Sasan Farisian. Thank you so much for the £5 super chat. It means a lot to me that it sounds like you have to save up like Google Play credits or something. I know that those surveys only pay like 6p each, but it's cool that you got it in the end. I think sides is winning, but I genuinely cannot see. Bottom, sides, don't do it. Oh man, I genuinely cannot work out which is coming out ahead. Usually it's like there's a clear winner, but I think it's free, close to equal opinions. Like you know what I do when I run out of, when I'm confused about what to do. This is a life pro tip, by the way. This is a terrible life pro tip. But if you're like being surrounded by people, oh man, straw poll it. Yeah, I might literally have to poll this one. Side, and I saved up pocket money. Oh, that's crazy. Okay, so we do have at least one person, but even then it's oh god. Thank you so much, by the way. Okay, we're good. So ask the Magic 8 grass block. I might have thrown that thing away. I'm gonna be honest with you. You know what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna flip a coin. I agree with the person who said that. So I need a three-sided coin. You know, I'll roll a three-sided dice. Or you know, I won't do anything. You know, my solution when people confuse you, just don't do anything. The only winning play is not to play at all. Do you think there's going to be an election coming soon in the UK? If so, who do you think will win? I don't actually imagine it's in anyone's interest to have an election right now. Besides potentially the ruling party. I don't imagine... I mean, I think what'll actually happen, what actually is going to happen, is there's going to be some big breakdown at some point that leads to there needing to be one. And I think that the current interest is in making that happen. It's really weird, because, I know, it's one of those perception reality things. It's kind of wacky. How could you disrespect the magic at grass block? You know, I'm going to be honest. It wasn't a very well put together thing. I literally couldn't read inside of it, let alone my camera, you know? Also, good to see you, Kyle. I see you've been here with the modding. Appreciate that, by the way. But yeah, so thank you very much for the politics question. I don't like politics questions. They're not particularly fun, right? I'm not particularly qualified to answer them either, right? I mean, you know what? Will there be a UK election? There might or there might not be is the answer. That's, like, the actual answer there, the one that isn't just diving into, like, other things is that. And I you know, like, I've been wrong with enough predictions. I'm not going to assume that things could be on there. Also, thank you so much, Sasan Farisian, for becoming a sponsor on the channel. It means a lot, man. It means a lot. Enjoy those emotes you get to use in the chat. Isn't that the best thing? If you see a chicken first, sides. If you see a cow first, tops, says William Michaels. I much prefer my solution of just like, you know, do neither, right? Do neither. Also, I still have the wine bottle from yesterday. And it's really tasty when it's not covered in ice. Because I don't know if I've mentioned this yet, but I need to go to sleep after this live stream. I need to go to sleep after this live stream. And there are two ways I can make that happen, right? One is I can hope and pray to God that I go to sleep. But the way better solution, in my opinion, is just to slowly, slowly but surely, you know, have all the factors that make you sleepy all at play. And if there's a lesson I've learned about wine over my years. Also drinking wine straight from the bottle. Come on, man. I drink it from a measuring jug. People say, wow, that's not how you do things. And I'm like, oh, sorry, I'm out of touch with the people. I'll do it the way that people prefer. I'll go from the bottle, right? That's and now that's a problem too. Double standards, chat. Double standards. You've just disrespected me for the last time. I'll use the power of my skinny fingers to remove you from existence. Thank you very much, Mr. Person with the American Airlines logo. Do appreciate that. Could you give me a build idea for my survival world? Nothing is too big for me to build. Okay, right now, Sprint Skycross. This is usually a bad comment to respond to, but I'll do it for you anyway. Because I love you that much. We've got that much. What happened here? Oh, this is where I fought the Wither, probably. Let's grab the ink sacs. Those were really useful. Super hard to come by, usually. But, yeah, yeah, another drunk stream. No, it literally is, I'm just making myself tired. I've got super, super sweet dessert wine. Like, it's literally a dessert. This is one of the things I would not have believed as a child. Because most of the time when people give you wines, they're like, this wine tastes like sad grapes mixed with vinegar. This wine tastes like sad grapes mixed with more vinegar. This is a less vinegary wine, but it still tastes like vinegar mixed with, you guessed it, sad grapes. But you can get wines. I don't know why they're called dessert wines. Like, I guess they go over dessert or something. But you can get dessert wines that literally... wait, on the front of this bottle, I won't show it to you because plausible deniability. This is just grape juice. Oh, it's so good. But there's a thing on the front of the bottle that's like the sweetness factor. Because there's two things you can get in a dessert wine, apparently, sweet and dry. I don't know who looks at sweet and dry and says, I'll go for dry, thank you very much. No, that's ridiculous. If you think dry is a better adjective than sweet, imagine, okay, I'm going to try and pick a similarly ridiculous example. Imagine if you could have clothes that were comfortable or red. You'd be like, I'll take, or good looking, or imagine if you could have a car that was fast or furry. Which would you pick? Imagine if you could pick a girlfriend who would be sweet or named Jonathan. Which would you pick? Tell me. If you honestly would pick Jonathan, that's cool. You know, like you've learned something about yourself. I hope you discovered yourself. But it's a fun thing, right? Dry is not just dessert wine. Oh, is that all wines? My bad. Again, that is, you can see my lack of knowledge on the subject coming through. I'll be real with you. I don't actually understand any of it. Also, someone's also apparently furry. Man, everyone's using the other definition of that. I hate my life. I've done this, and I hate myself for it. I'm very sorry. Also, should we do the torches in the desert next? Wait, yeah, chat. You can decide what we do next. We can either go around the world placing ender chests, or we can cover the desert in torches. Or we could cover the rest of the world in torches, actually. I think we should do that. Like, though, yeah, as you're saying, Jonathan. You know, yeah, I mean, like, if you want a girl who's called Jonathan. Again, like, I'm sure there is a very nice girl called Jonathan out there. But if I can have a sweet girlfriend or whatever. Actually, wait, sweet or dry? If you ask me to pick, like, literally any other thing. Unless it's literally like a house or something, sure, I'll go for dry. But yeah, even on the girlfriend question, sweet or dry, I mean, you know, there aren't many choices where you pick the second one. Also, ender chests, rest of the world. So let's say between torches in the desert and torches like in general, which should we do? Because I want to torch up a lot of the areas around my map area. Also, thank you very much, Molly May, for the $2 super chat. Good to see you. I confused lesbian here again. I am, you know, the amount of lesbian love on Toycat live streams leaves me in a very confused but generally happy place. I will say, for all the things that confuse me in the world, a lot of things are just like, I'm confused, and I don't know if that's good. But otherwise, I feel pretty good. I take a dry towel over a sweet one. Imagine a sweet towel. Imagine a towel that could literally make you feel sweeter by touching it or something. Imagine like, ooh, it's sweet. That'd be amazing. I mean, sure, if it's not the driest towel. Because, okay, here's the thing, right? Everyone knocks non-dry towels. I used one the other day because, you know, I'm a sad, tragic single man who doesn't take care of himself, apparently. But I used a towel the other day that was not particularly dry. They still work, you know. Even a wet towel actually dries you because you're way wetter than any towel. Also, I wish I could be a lesbian, but alas, I love everyone. Sweet wine is for children. Oh man, you're going in deep, Kelly Drummond. I agree actually. You know, I am actually just clearly an 11-year-old, and that's why my tastes match those. Do you know you can get shader on Xbox, mate? No. Thank you very much for letting me know, mate, with an 8. Kind of like the phones from... Who makes those? It's not Huawei. It's the one with a similar name. HTC. Wow, thank you very much for letting me know, mate. No, I kind of want to make a tutorial on how to get shaders on Xbox, because so many people... Well, not shaders, but everything in general. Because I met someone in real life recently, and they were like, hey, I didn't know there was a way to download anything on Xbox without the store. And it's like, you sort of can, it's tricky. And I guess it would save enough people enough money. So my plan is, here's my plan. When Microsoft adds their next round of microtransactions, I think that's when I'm going to do it. It's like, hey, you know, you can add these transactions to the game, and then I'll encourage people not to use them. It's genuinely super sweet. Like, if you drink too much, it does get in your mouth. Like, it's like a, ooh. It's weird. You know, I don't understand how this works. This is a very, like, adulty thing. But there are some flavors that are genuinely way sweeter. What's the wine called? It's Stella Edwards. It's Tokaji Azu. I don't know how you're even gonna Google that. But yeah, Tokaji, I tried it on a plane for the first time, like, 2 years ago now. And it blew my mind. I was like, it's wine, but it doesn't taste like sad grapes. How is this possible? Try Moscato. Yeah, no, I've tried like every pretend variant of wine. Because again, I would love to be someone who can be like, yes, I'm a proper adult. I drink refined flavors, and I love to check the vineyards myself. I'd love to, at least, because I like to understand everything in the world, even things I don't enjoy or agree with. Like, a lot of people have this attitude where they instinctively shut things out. Like, I don't know, there's a lot of hatred towards things like, I don't know, the LGBT stuff, right? A lot of people who hate it, some you know, a lot of them come from the background of like, that's not normal, that's not something I know, therefore it's terrible. A lot of people who hate rich people or hate, you know, sometimes people hate poor people, but they hate it from an aspect of like, they are different to me in ways that I don't understand, and I hate that. the whole debate around like Xbox versus PlayStation or Android versus iPhone is literally my parents bought me this one thing and I have to believe it's best because I don't have a choice otherwise. I don't understand the other side. That's kind of that. And I try to never take that opinion because it's usually wrong, right? There's so many differences in the world, so many beauties, so many things to be uncovered, so many things like that, right? Try a bubbly Pinot Grigio. Whenever I go to bars, I jokingly order my friend's wine and then try it. Because, like, it's a whole fun thing. I might have to try that, actually. But, yeah, no, the world is filled with beautiful things that most people don't try because they're out of their comfort zones. But, yeah, give everything a try, you know? See, Marcus Cater here is like, eat the rich. You know, rich people, most of them aren't particularly large because, like, you can usually afford to trim things down. You know who the tastiest people are? The tastiest people, based on my understanding of cows, would be people who eat the most, which is, by and large, people on the lower end of the socioeconomic spectrum. Therefore, you know, like, in terms of, like, a taste perspective, you know, eat the rich is a pretty inefficient thing to do. But, yeah, there's a lot of hatred that comes towards entire groups of people based on that lack of understanding. And I think it's really important to, like, try and understand that there are so many... so many different ways to live a life, and some of them are objectively worse, but most of them aren't. Like, there are little lessons, little things to be taken from everyone everywhere. Some people are doing things, you know, that are just worse in some way, worse in this way, and those are the things that we should be focused on, rather than saying, oh yeah, if you like, you know, Japanese... Oh, look at this. Those dogs do not like this rabbit. That's sad. That's very sad. But, you know, I could do some raw rabbit meat, right? Okay, no, I couldn't, apparently. Whatever. Cute little dogs. But, yeah, humans are naturally scared of the unknown. We don't take a chance to look for something nice. Yeah, no, it's... Yeah, that's what it is, right? There is a fear of the unknown. There is a natural bias towards the known. But we know for a fact... This is my biggest... This is my point. This is my hill I will die on. Humans... The thing that makes us special is our ability to progress. The thing that makes us interesting is the fact that we kind of don't want to progress, but end up doing it anyway. I love that I joined to the tastiest people. Yum. But, yeah, no, there is this genuine natural. There's this genuine nature within humans to distrust things from the outside. You know, the in-group, the out-group. Things that are in the out-group are bad and worse than you. Also, love your videos, take care. What did I miss in these streams, says Lel Gaming. Thank you very much for the £5 super chat, Mr. Lel Gaming. I appreciate it a lot. What have you missed so far today? I mostly just filled out this giant map by swimming around on a boat. I probably could have done it more efficiently by getting other mini-maps, because also, like, it's still not really complete, right? It's got a lot of holes and gaps. But we'll go over those later while we finish the last of the maps, and this way or that way. How do you have a large map? You use the cartography table. It's a very nice little thing. So, yeah, Also, hey, thank you, Brayden, for becoming a sponsor on the channel. Enjoy those emojis, and thank you so much for choosing to support the channel with a monthly contribution. It means a lot to me. But, yeah, we naturally tend forwards all the time. Look at life literally 100 years ago. That'd be, what, 1919? The very worst off the very best off person in 1919 probably lives a worse life today than you do. Like, the difference is in that, like, oh yeah, you know, even if you're a billionaire in 1919, you don't have smartphones. Hi, I love the streams recently. You inspire me, says Static Clan. I'm glad you like the streams, man. It is, it's just been a really fun thing for me to do. I'll be real with you here. I'd love to pretend to be like, these streams, they're so, you know, I love serving the people. That's what I'm really doing here. And there definitely is a part of it that's like, oh yeah. You know, streaming takes time that I could otherwise use to lay down and do nothing. But on the other hand, like, I've been really enjoying it. It feels like we've got a really chill atmosphere going on here. I like it a lot. I like it a lot, is what I'm saying. So thank you just as much as you're thanking me, is maybe what I'm going for. This mod is insane. Well done. No idea what mod you mean, unless you mean the mod in the chat, in which case, well done there too. So, yeah, it's really interesting the progress humans have made, and I just want to say, it's cool. It's really cool. We're gonna make so much progress, and then we're gonna kill ourselves one day. That's literally there's an internal upwards trajectory of humans, and then one day we'll accidentally all kill ourselves. But until we get there, it'll be pretty great, right? It won't even be accidental if it's like a climate change related thing either, right? But yeah, we need to focus on doing things, and we never do, and it's a whole weird side thing, I guess I could say. Okay, so chat, tell me right now. I know we already voted, but you know, I'm voting again. I don't care about your opinions. So I do, but I forgot them. So tell me, should we torch up the desert or torch up the map room area? So torch desert, torch maps. Humans are really good at killing ourselves. Yeah, you know, here's the coolest thing about humans. You know what the number one, like, you know, killer of you know, like do you know what the number one killer of, like, I'm trying to pick an animal I know the apex predator of. Do you know what the number one killer of plankton is? Fish. You know what the number one killer of salmon is? Bears. That's probably not true. You know what the number one killer of humans is? It's humans. Also, everyone wants to do the maps area. There are very few people saying desert. So let's do it. Let's torch up that entire, like, area in an effective way. But yeah, I love that, like, the thing that is best at killing humans is humans. Like, there's always the famous joke about, like, you know, why do people hate Hitler when he killed Hitler? You know, it's true. You know, the one person who was best, you know, able to stop Hitler was Hitler himself. Also, thank you very much for the $2 super chat to say map. Let's do it. Let's totally do it. That's good enough for me. So I'm going to fly up to this little top left corner, because you can see how there's either a gap there, or that desert just looks really weird. I'm not sure which one it is. But either way, I should be a little bit concerned, I feel like. So yeah, let's head all the way through here. We'll place some torches in the desert on the way, because there's, like, some areas that aren't properly torched up here, I feel like. And then we'll go. Also, we got the fill joke, the replace thing. It's actually mosquitoes followed by humans. Do mosquitoes kill more humans than humans? I can't believe that's true. I don't believe that's true. I'm sorry. Do you think we're ever going to have another world war? I think the odds of another world war happening tend towards yes. Because there is a... one of the problems in the game theory of, like, international relations is if you use the threat of war to push for benefits, you generally do quite well out of that. I know all it takes is one wrong elected official, bear in mind, these are just normal people, elected people, who pushes the button, and then everything goes everywhere. There's a lot of needless death of people who aren't related to the whole thing. And once you've started, you can't really stop because of the bad thing. Also, please buy yourself a glass to pour the wine into. You know, I'm offended by that. I have, like, a skull bottle here as well, but that's... We're not fixing the problem there, are we? I kind of like being as unclassy as possible, just like, you know what? This is my thing today. We drink straight out of the bottle. Can you place a block for me? You know what? Just for you. Here is a block of wood. I'm going to place it over here. And now you know, when you see this block of wood, it's your little block. Look how nice that block is. I'm going to be confused by that when I see that in some number of years. You're welcome. Why did you even place 55,000 blocks of glass over your end? Look, I thought it was a great idea. Thank you very much. Toy Cat, you staying hydrated? You know what? You're right. I should stay hydrated. Hydration is important after all. Ooh. What's your opinion on sushi? Oh man, okay, let me talk about sushi. I have, like, genuine strong opinions on sushi. Because there are so many people who are like, oh, I don't like sushi, eat raw fish, lol. And it's like, try it. Don't judge a book by its cover. This is the exact same thing I was saying, like, in the same category, you know, if you think of yourself as like, oh, I'm actually pretty open, pretty this or whatever. Also, I won't try sushi because I don't believe in raw fish. It's like, why not? What is your ridiculous obsession with cooking a fish? You know, it's not like everyone in Japan, hundreds of millions of people. Try sushi before you say something as ridiculous as that, right? Try it and then say I don't like it because I don't like the taste of raw fish. Don't say I don't like the idea of raw fish. You know, that's like saying, oh, I don't like the idea of inside, so I live in the goddamn wild. Like, you'd be insane. You'd be genuinely insane. And we'd be like, wow, that sure is a ridiculous opinion. And yeah, we should say the whole thing. I don't believe raw fish exists. Now that's an opinion and a half right there. Why are you so mad about sushi? Because sushi is so good, especially when you get like proper sushi. Because even unproper sushi is great. Like if you've never tried unproper sushi, try it. Like buy it from like a convenience store or something. You'll have a good time, is my general impression. Also, we're going to try and do perfect diagonal lines. I don't know how to even properly do this, but let's just go this way and then every 5 or 6 blocks, just place a torch and then see how well that leads us. Also, I'm not putting blocks of people. This is why I don't like to do this. It's like, that's not enjoyable to me, you know? I'm sorry. Also, as a native Englishman, how would you describe Primark to an American? I wonder how you heard about Primark, Alina Khan. That's my genuine curiosity for the day. So, oh man, this isn't in line at all. You know, the chat might have voted to do it in the map room area, but I probably should ignore them and just go do it elsewhere. Because I'm just gonna like fill them in randomly, and it's not gonna look as pretty. I want to do this like perfect thing here, but I need more focus than I'm gonna have on the live stream. So let's instead place a line of torches going from here to the desert. Can you give me the most amount of value for my dollar, says Ren Ren. Okay, Ren Ren, you make me 10-10 on a scale of 1-2, 10-10. And I've been thinking about how I should stop talking about your 10-10. That was the best thing ever. But there's your $1 value. Cooked fish is disgusting, raw fish is amazing. It's not enough money, but oh no, I missed the rest of it. I'm gonna find it. Thank you so much, Shayna. I recognize the name from previously. Put this cash towards your next sushi order. There's just nowhere near me to get good sushi anymore. There used to be a Japanese place literally next to me, like 7 minutes away. It shut and turned into like a generic bar recently. I don't think enough people were going to it. It's so sad. Like I've never had such a broken heart because I just you know, I guess maybe it's one of those things, but like this is the downside of traveling, is that you realize like what something tastes like in a real place, and then you realize how far away from it you are all the time. It's very sad. It's very tragic, I will have to say. Why does the center of the map look like it's from a different map? It's because I started this world on 360. I answered that too much. I'm not going to answer that again. I'm going to try my best, at least. So, love the videos, Toycat. Keep up the great work. Thank you very much. Let's surround the village. Because I've got these walls anyway, right? Let's surround the walls with torches anyway. Feels like oh, I think I might have already done this, in fact. Wow, go on me. Look at that. Already taken my own idea to heart. So place a torch there. Place a torch there. And wait, no, bad parrot. Is there coffee in that thermos? Tell the truth, don't hide it. I'll be real with you. I would rather it. I don't know why I have a thermos for water, actually. You do raise a good question. Also, love your videos. Toycat, keep up the amazing work. Thank you so much, Jack Tyler, for the £5 super chat. It means a lot to me. I think it's kind of wild when anyone thinks that anything I do is worth that amount. Let alone a real person, probably. Because of a name like Jack Tyler, like if you're gonna make up a name, you'd be like, oh yeah, you know, it's a real name is what I'm saying. Whereas Braden, you know, what even is that, mister? Did you know bananas don't grow on trees? I did not. That is not a true fact, right? Anyway, how do you feel about drinking pee? I feel like you generally shouldn't drink pee. I'm gonna come here with a wildly controversial opinion, and I'm gonna tell you, you shouldn't drink pee. Not even when you feel like doing it, you know? It should be one of those things that's on the very much don't do pile. And you know what? I know this is going to offend a lot of people. No, I'm being ridiculous here. My inner alcoholic wants you to spell out the wine. Spell out the wine. Oh, you know what? For you, Stella Edwards. Yeah, you seem to show a genuine interest. So, Tok, as in T-O-K, TikTok. Aji, A-J-I, Ass Zoo. Tokaji Ass Zoo. Like a zoo full of asses, but not actually spelt like a zoo full of asses. Like as zoo. You know, I'll show it to you like the very bottom for a split second. Oh look, there you go. So my wine juice is in this weird grape juice is in this weird wine bottle or something. There's my plausible deniability, now we're covered. You're the best. So I can't love your videos, says Low Gaming. Thank you very much for the £5 super chat. Do appreciate it a bunch. What if it's gamer girl pee though? Says yup yup. Oh yeah, no, don't drink your own pee. But if it comes from a cute gamer girl, of course you're gonna drink that pee. That's the worst thing I've ever done for anything. I'm never gonna do that again. You can look it up. It's true. I'm gonna look it up. I do wonder what I'm gonna find when I do. So yeah, do you know astronauts drink their own pee? I do in fact know that, because like most of pee is just water. There's a tiny bit of urea in there that's really not good for you. But I don't know. That's why you can pee in the pool like 1,000 times before it has a problem, right? Because you're just putting water back into the place filled with water. I'd even go as far as to say, I don't know if this is true, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Let's make up facts that we know aren't true on the spot. And let's just say that I reckon that I'd go as far as to guess that if without people peeing in pools, it would cost the owners more because they'd have to like fill it themselves, and water's not free, right? Whereas, you know, pee, it's literally free, right? You drink liquids elsewhere and then you put them in the pool. Because you might be like, oh no, Toy Cat, people don't pee in the pool. Oh, I have some bad news for you. I have some terrible news to break to all of you. So before we go, because I feel like someone said recently that every single Toy Cat stream they watch gives them an existential crisis, and I kind of want to prove them right now. So let me talk about something that'll make you question your whole life. Because so you missed the donut, says Almighty AJ. Thank you very much for the super chat to let me know I missed the super chat. Oh, what happened to the emerald ore? I can't find it. The emerald ore in the game, in your world, in my world? I'm not sure what you mean. It still exists. It's super rare because it's only found in extreme hills. But honestly, the first person to say my surname correctly, so thank you. Okay, how could you not get Tyler as Tyler? Because like obviously every second name, obviously it has to be said, right? It is objectively factual that every second name in the UK at least comes because someone's father at one point was a Tyler or a Taylor or whatever else. So like, you know, your second name is Tyler. So you probably had a Tyler, a man who plays tiles somewhere down your lineage, right? But yeah, no, let me give you a little bit of thing. Someone says like how we live in a simulation. I mean, we totally do live in a simulation, just statistically speaking. But that's not what you should be terrified of, because like, I'm so fine with my life being a simulation, because then I know that when I die, there is an actual ending, right? Like, the thing that scares me more than anything else, like people are like, oh no, what if there's no heaven? And it's like, oh yeah, that's definitely what I'm worried about. No, what terrifies me, what keeps me up at night, is what if you die and, you know, like you're stuck around until the end of the universe? You know, what if like, I don't know where your consciousness would go otherwise, but like the idea of any form of infinitum is scary. Because at least the, you know, finite loop is fine. So yeah, living in a simulation, at least you know when you die, you can be deleted. We know for a fact we can delete things from, you know, PCs, right? Boom, that feels good to know. But yeah, no, something I was thinking about recently is kind of lasts and firsts, right? Every single activity you ever do, you'll do for a first time and you'll do for a last time. You know, think about that. The first time you drank water, the last time you, I don't know, the last time you, you know, like played on a swing set, which you might have done at some point already. Like I don't know if I'll ever play on some swings again. I hope that I will, but what if I won't? And there's a lot of like really kind of tragic versions of that where it's like, you know, the last time you hung out with your childhood best friend, neither of you knew it was gonna be your last time, but yeah, it was. You never ever did it again. That was just over. Like that chapter of your life's finished, and it finished in a way that neither of you knew was coming, right? It just kind of happened. And this is true for like every major event, every single relationship in your life has this exact same thing, where you have a first and a last time to do something, and you usually know what your first time of doing something is, but you never know the significance. And you usually know the significance of the last time you do something, but you never know when it is. You don't know the last time you're going to hang out with your current best friend. You don't know the last time you're going to see the person you find to be most valuable in the world right now. These are unknown things. And the kind of the cliche that comes from this is like, always say, you know, I love you to the people that matter most to you in the world. I think that's stupid advice, you know what? That's not going to change it on that level. But I think it is so interesting that, like, oh yeah, we don't know about the last time. There's just going to be a last time for it, and you don't know. It's going to happen, and you're going to feel bad or whatever. But on the... Also, let's switch this out for the shovel. Let's get some sand going, because I need to get the smelters going anyway, right? It's kind of... It's kind of tragic on that level. But it's also like, yeah, every single thing in your life has an end. Has a last time it's going to happen. And with very few exceptions, you never know when it will be. It just becomes a memory, and it becomes a never again thing. Also, what's up, Toy Cat? It's good to see you, Lord Meow Samba. Hope you're having a great Sunday evening. Not unless you say goodbye to everyone and run off into the woods, become a hermit. Take control of your lives, ladies. I like that as advice, actually. Sure, you know, run off into the woods. Become a nomad, become a person who lives by themselves, and you'll be happy, right? When's the exploring, says Midir Kuti. I think you've seen that already, although I didn't do any mining yet. Do you think we have to mine, or this stream counts as misleading? I think we have to do that. So you know what, chat? For the sake of keeping the title accurate, I placed a bunch of torches, and this is nice. I like this a lot. Let's go do a little bit of mining, because I need to do that anyway, right? Like, there's some mining that needs to be done, and we can hopefully fill out some gaps in the map while we do so. Well, let's fly over here. We'll take the long way round to get to our mine, so we can cover gaps like this one. Also, can you beat Minecraft without killing any mob? Thank you very much, Samir Singh. You have to kill the Ender Dragon to beat Minecraft, and you have to kill the Blaze to get to the Ender Dragon. So you cannot. I want to do a pacifist run of Minecraft, but you really have to stretch the definition of pacifist, and you know, that's why I won't be doing it anytime soon. Thank you very much, Nicola Davis. And Lel Gaming says, listen to the original Mumbo Jumbo FK song, and I'll give you £15. Thank you for the offer, but I will turn you down on this one. It just isn't. That doesn't sound like an appealing offer to me. Like I said this before, but like I much prefer freedom to getting, you know, like, sure, being paid £15 to listen to a song is great, but I don't like that there's just a precedent of like, hey, I'll be your singing, dancing monster. I won't enjoy something, but I'll do it in exchange for money. That would make me, that would make me not comfortable with myself. Get a minimum of 69 diamonds. Hey, that's the number off the funny thing. Haha. 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 But yeah, what we're going to do is we're going to get some stone, and then we're going to come back with it. It's going to be great. In fact, yeah, we'll follow the tunnel the way along it comes from this way, because there's a... Just over here, there's a little thing. And we'll kind of follow the tunnel, dig it up as we go. Because right now, the ceiling is only 2 blocks high. Let's kind of mine it as we go. So yeah, we've got like only a few more minutes. Only a few more minutes of Toy Cat stream left. So I want to say, if we say nothing else, you can trade IF Enders from the Cleric. No, as of a somewhat recent update, it's Ender Pearls now. So you have to fight Blazes at least, which sucks. I don't like that. Please try only mining to promote a cave update. I definitely have some plans to promote a cave update. Don't you worry. If you think I've abandoned the cave update, you better believe that's not a thing. He's a streamer, not a webcam girl. I like the term webcam girl. I was definitely just saying cam girl. But it's a thing, right? Like, you know, I enjoy streaming, and I like that it's a mutually enjoyable relationship. And you can say money is mutually enjoyable, but I don't know. I've got to pop out now. I want to say you look very nice today. Have a lovely day. Thank you. Give me a little bit of a self-esteem boost before the end of the day. Isn't that nice of you? Thank you very much. But yeah, to everyone who is here, even if I'm for a little bit longer, I want to say that, yeah, the stream has been something I enjoyed a lot. And I hope you did as well, because if I enjoy something and you enjoy something, isn't that great? You get a $5 for sparing us the cringe, says Low Gaming. See, there we go. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you. Right, like, I don't want to... There's more on the stake when there's so many people too. It's like, I don't know. Just took a long shower. Glad you're still streaming. Just for you. Also, cave update. Cave update. Cave update. If I yell it enough times, it comes true, right? That's just kind of facts. But yeah, since I gave you a super sad existential fact, have I give the opposite one, which is like, we're gonna do so many firsts in our life, and we won't know how important they are at the time, which means they could be happening all the time. There is a chance. I've been on a few first dates recently. It's been a weird thing. I'll tell you about the experience sometime in the future. I hope. But because it's always a wacky time. I don't know if it's just me. Maybe I attract wacky experiences. Maybe I am just a wacky person or something. There's been lots of wacky experiences in my life recently. But yeah, basically, but there's a lot of like first things that you don't know at the time, but could turn out to be super, super important. And I think that's actually beautiful. I think the fact that you don't know when something's going to happen adds even more significance to it in some ways, because you have to treat everything as just as significant. The actual significance between the first and the last time you're doing something don't actually matter in the end, because the first time and the last time you do things are inherent to life, right? Life has inherent start points and end points and everything in between. And that's not actually a bad thing. That is just one of the beauties of it. And you can use it to actually be a positive fact in your life. You can actually take the fact that, yeah, there is a first time, a last time you're going to ever do a thing. And that's what makes it so great while it's happening. That's the motivation thing I take. Maybe you can take from it for like, oh, so there's no point doing anything. I just won't wake up tomorrow. And if that's the lesson you take, that's also cool too. But no, thank you very much for watching. Thank you, by the way, to Lord Meow Sambo for the $5 Australian. Had to add a custom GIF. I think you can do it via Streamlabs, because you're using Super Chat right now, which means YouTube gets a cut. If you use Streamlabs, not only does the full thing go to me, but you get more customization as like a nice little trade-off. So yeah, now you know how that one works. Maybe you also know, because we're gonna... Actually, let's mine our way back to where we want to be, because I think the cave starts down here. But, yeah, I don't know. I feel like there's some small absolution that comes from knowing that there is finality to everything. Because it means the time you do have all has a bit more meaning. The reason wasting time is a bad thing is because you have a certain amount of it to use. But it means that when you do waste time, you're doing it with a purpose. You're doing it with some reason. It's not just filling in a gap between when a thing happens and when the next thing happens. I don't know. It feels kind of good, right? Oh, I think at least. Maybe you disagree. And if you do disagree, then I disagree with your disagreeing. Yeah, how'd you like that? How'd you feel about that? Also, hey, it's funny. We had stream lag just at the end here. If that's not the universe's sign to say, hey, stop streaming. It's over now. We good here. I don't know what it is. Thank you so much for watching today's live stream. I'm sorry for all of the random stuff. Someone says I'm doing it on purpose. I'm going to pretend I was doing it on purpose, although I'll admit to you right now, I totally was not. I totally wasn't. I wish I was, though. It'd be much nicer in that way. So what I'm going to do between this episode and next one, because I really need to fix this finally, the next one of these live streams, I'm going to spend actually fixing up the end. So the way I'm going to prepare for that is I'm going to be over in my desert, which is got 2 giant super smelters. I'm going to leave myself in there smelting for a really long time until that gets done. It's going to be great. It's going to be good. I hope you all enjoyed this live stream. I'm going to get to bed now because I was going to sleep like an hour ago and then I started streaming for way longer than I expected. Because, you know, I enjoyed streaming for longer than I expected. And isn't that great? Maybe it's not great. I don't know. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. And I'll see you all next time.